Virgo, welcome to your reading for the week of February 15th. This week, you start off with a Jack of Hearts, so some of you might have an admirer, probably at work, but not always true. So if you're single, there might be somebody who's interested in you. If not, then this card represents needing to have more fun this week, maybe needing to take some time for yourself. I think that came up last week as well for you, if I'm not mistaken. And, so definitely take some time for yourself. Absolutely. Separate. It's really important. You have a Five of Spades coming up next as well, which I also believe possibly came up for you like last week or the week before. I can't really remember, but I seem to remember you getting like a Five of Spades. It's one of those things where maybe if you're stuck, or you don't have any stuck cards, I'll say that, but maybe if you're trying to make some decisions or whatever in your life, maybe you just need to separate and take an adventure, travel, which comes up with this card right here. Five of Spades is all about taking an adventure, traveling. Doesn't even need to be far. Could be like a town near you or something where you go do something for the day. Just separate from the situation, because if you can totally do that, if you can just only think about what you're doing and not think about whatever's going on in your life, that's usually when like these ideas come that can help us. So if we're stuck, or maybe we're not stuck, maybe we're just like looking for something to make our lives better or in a certain way, when we separate and go do something different, that's usually when those ideas, the good ones, come in and are like, hey, you need to do this. And you're like, oh my God, there you go. That's the solution. But this is definitely a card of needing to be more spontaneous, needing to take some more adventures, needing to do some different things, and maybe even open up to new ideas. And I think that's what I said to you last week. I think I said, there might be some situations where you might not agree with somebody, but they, in work or maybe in your regular life, whatever the case is, and they might come up to you with like an idea, and you might not agree with it, or you might not like it, but it's also maybe the idea that you need to accept and take. So, if you're in a leadership position, if you are like a manager or a boss or something, maybe you need to look at some of these other ideas that people have, and you just need to try it. And, what's the worst that can happen, really? And next, what's interesting is you have the card that completes the Five of Spades. You have the Six of Spades, which is forward momentum, forward movement, moving forward, moving past obstacles, incremental improvements. I used to call this card the ladder, because it's kind of like you're climbing the ladder, and you're at least you're moving forward. That doesn't say the obstacles are totally going away. There's still going to be some times where you have to come up with some new solutions, but Six of Spades, you're always moving forward. That's the great news with this card. Also, don't gossip under this card. Don't create any problems under this card, because it'll come back to bite you rather quickly. Some readers call this card instant karma, which is really true. It's instant karma. Next, you have the Three of Hearts. Great card. Card of emotional happiness, feeling happy, feeling good. Also a card of needing to make some decisions. Again, with the decisions, needing to decide on some things. Sometimes it's not always the easiest thing to do. I really think it boils down to maybe accepting a decision that you don't necessarily agree with, but just allowing it to happen, which I guess, maybe Virgos can have a little bit of a hard time doing. Sometimes maybe you have a hard time just allowing other people to take the reins, so to speak. And, I think that this card represents a decision that you're ultimately happy with, but maybe not right now. These odd numbered cards, they want to be even numbered. So sometimes there might be just some little things that you don't like with like a Three of Hearts, even though you always end up happy. So that's something to look at. And next you have the Six of Clubs, which really represents growth. I think there are a lot of situations recently that have forced Virgo to grow. And I mean, not recently, actually, probably for like years, the past few years, you've had to, accept some things and allow some growth, and, maybe even having some upsets. But this really says you've grown and you'll be successful because of it. Six of Clubs is a card of success, plain and simple. So that I really like to see as well. This is definitely a card of communication, creating that like back and forth communication. So, if you have a problem with some sort of idea, like I said, which came up last week, I believe, and it's coming up now again, maybe just communicate and tell the people what the problem is. Maybe they can make you or help you see it in a different light, and then you'll allow it to happen, and then you'll be successful. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your week.